Just when Real Housewives of Potomac star Wendy Osefo thought she might get a break after Mia Thornton's arrest, she's making headlines again because the Baltimore Banner has an article today talking about their financial situation. And the prosecutors are revealing that Wendy and Eddie had 40 different credit cards and multiple aliases.
Here we go now.
Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Yesterday, we reported to you the breaking news that Mia Thornton, formerly of the Real Housewives of Potomac, was arrested at Atlanta's International Airport, apparently for larceny, taking $11,000 worth of furniture from a condo where she was staying with her then boyfriend, Inc. Word on the street, he was also arrested as well. We haven't confirmed that yet, but of course, make sure you're subscribed and your notifications are on for any breaking news or updates when it comes to that story. Be sure to check out the previous videos that we've done on Mia's arrest. As I said before, I felt like Wendy might get a break this week, but unfortunately, the Baltimore Banner has a story in regards to the prosecutors. As you know, just the other day, we did a story letting you know that the prosecutors are saying that them accusing them of an illegal arrest or some sort of error in the charging document was false. This is basically what is going to happen legally. Everyone's going to be filing court filings in response to what the other person's saying. Wendy and Eddie asked for a separate trial. They said that there was an error in the charging document. These are all things that they need to do in order to have this case possibly thrown out or dismissed or evidence suppressed. Well, the Baltimore Banner says, hold on a minute. There's more that the prosecution is revealing when it comes to what Wendy and Eddie allegedly may have been doing in regards to this insurance fraud. So the Baltimore Banner writes this: prosecutors are seeking additional financial records of the Real Housewives of Potomac star Wendy Osefo and her husband, Eddie Osefo, that they say will show a pattern of excessive spending and support a motive in their criminal fraud case, new court filings show. So a lot of people have speculated that a lot of what we've been seeing from Wendy on the show and the reason why she may have gotten involved in this fraud was to keep up with the Joneses. So defense attorneys for the Osefos had said that Carroll County prosecutors were on, quote, a fishing expedition in seeking new banking records for the couple who were indicted last month for allegedly staging a burglary at their Vicksburg home in order to claim losses. They want the subpoenas quashed. But prosecutors responded saying that the Osefos have, quote, approximately 40 credit and or debit cards, some of which believed to be in companies' names, and have in other instances used aliases like Pam Oliver. Oh no.
Hi. I'm sorry.
Who's Pam Oliver? And Eddie Hennessy. I'm done. I can't.
That is funny.
Who's Pam Oliver and who's Eddie Hennessy? Lord have mercy. Just when you thought that this could not get any worse. They said that they believe that some of these credit cards were in companies' names and have in some instances used the aliases Pam Oliver and Eddie Hennessy in a, quote, deliberate attempt to mask their identity. This gets worse, y'all. Prosecutors also say that Wendy Osefo falsely denied using PayPal, VENMO, and Cash App to pay for jewelry. The state anticipates seeing purchases as well as returns on the financial records, prosecutors wrote. Additionally, the state expects such documentation to show a pattern of excessive spending, supporting motive in this case. One of the things I said to you guys when we first initially reported on the story, I said, please understand the information that came out in the initial indictment is just scratching the surface. A lot of times these prosecutors have a lot more. The state avers that the insurance fraud is a financial crime, and in that the amount of debt owed by the Osefos jointly, individually, and by the businesses that they own is highly relevant to their motive. And you may recall, if you've been watching the new season of The Real Housewives of Potomac, Wendy has bragged about how well their Happy Eddie weed business is doing. Eddie Osefo's attorney, Joseph Murtha, said that the requests were overly broad and strangely timed, saying prosecutors were, quote, looking for something they haven't figured out after 18 months of investigating. He said authorities hadn't talked to the Osefos from the time of the break-in until they were charged criminally. Wendy's attorney, Jeremy Eldridge, declined to comment. That might be for the best. Circuit Court Judge Brian Del Leonardo said that he would take up the dispute over the subpoenas at status hearing on December 2nd. The Osefos were indicted by a Carroll County grand jury and charged with 7 counts of insurance fraud, 8 counts of conspiracy insurance fraud, and 1 count of making a false statement to a police officer. The charges, as you know, stem from a reported burglary at their Finksburg home on April 7th of 2024. Their home was broken into while they were on vacation in Jamaica, and that the thieves ransacked their bedroom and closet, stealing $450,000 worth of designer bags and jewelry. Only for us to find out later that when police searched their home, when they got arrested, 15 of the alleged stolen items were found in the home. Deputies doubted the claim and determined that numerous items that the couples were stolen had been returned to stores for refunds prior to the alleged burglary, a prosecutor wrote in court records. Investigation revealed that the Osefos to be burdened by substantial debt, prosecutors wrote in a previous court filing. Both Wendy and Eddie are free on a $50,000 bond. Wendy Osefo, known as Dr. Wendy to Bravo fans, is a television personality, political commentator, and former Johns Hopkins University professor. And something like this is not going to make any network want to work with Wendy when it comes to political commentating or a university. She recently, she says, resigned from the reality TV course that she was teaching at Wesleyan University. She shares 3 children with Eddie Osefo, who has a number of businesses ventures, including Happy Eddie, a marijuana company. The alleged burglary hadn't been a prominent plot point on season 10 of The Real Housewives of Potomac, which is interesting. I will give grace in regards to this sometimes, and I would be shocked that the producers would not want to include Wendy's burglary in it as their storyline for last season, but they made it more about her birthday and reuniting with the family. But I could also see production saying, well, let's focus on that because that's very different than what's happening with Karen Huger. Because, you know what I mean? 2 criminal things happening. Maybe they wanted to veer from that. Or maybe the Osefos wanted to veer from that. Who knows? The alleged burglary hadn't been a prominent plot point on season 10 of The Real Housewives of Potomac, which is currently airing. Wendy Osefo said on Sunday's episode, taped after the alleged burglary took place, that she and Eddie were spending approximately $100,000 on extensive renovations to their Finksburg home. But if they're experiencing extreme financial debt, that $100,000, yes, it might be a great investment in upping the value of the home. Some say no. But where is this $100,000 coming from? At last weekend's BravoCon, a convention celebrating Bravo's network's reality stars, Wendy addressed the allegations, stating that she would speak on what happened when the cast films the reunion likely to take place this winter. Well, she didn't say she would speak on it at the reunion. She did say that when the time is right, she would speak on it. And I said to you before, I feel as if this is going to extend Wendy's life on the show. Hopefully she doesn't get prison time, but we don't know. This would extend her life on the show for at least a couple of more seasons. This is what Wendy said at the time. She said, "It's an unfortunate situation, and right now I can't say too much, but I will say when the time is right, I will share my story with everyone," she said at BravoCon. "And for now, these are just allegations, so we will continue to push forward." Osefo is not the only cast member on the hit reality show to run into trouble with the law recently. Karen Huger, who also made an appearance at BravoCon, served about 6 months in jail this year for a DUI, her 4th DUI. It's important to note. Though Huger did not film season 10 with the rest of the cast, the woman known to fans as the Grand Dame of Potomac sat down with the Bravo host Andy Cohen after her release for an interview that will air during the season finale. I think that is to be assumed, but we shall see when or where, if that will be a separate episode. I don't know if it's enough to be a separate episode. I think there's a lot Karen could answer for. Do you think Karen will make an appearance at the reunion? Now, I'm not too sure. I'm wondering if Karen's big return will be the new season 11 as opposed to attending the reunion, because maybe she doesn't want to answer for some of the things that people wanted her to answer for during season 9's reunion. But season 10's reunion will be about everything that played out during the season. One thing that the Baltimore Banner left out was Mia Thornton's recent arrest. But again, you can get all those updates in regards to the arrests from the Real Housewives of Potomac ladies here on the channel. So be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Thanks for watching.
Here we go now.